Going live, and we are live. Hey guys, it has been a while and we did not put up a Financial Friday last Friday or the Friday before because Hunter gets really excited as soon as I say hey guys, and then he literally was just sleeping and now he's playing. I guess this is how we start every Financial Friday off. Hi. Okay, so it says there's nobody. Okay, now it's saying people are here. So I wanted to show you guys how to do a very, very basic budget and show you that we use Google spreadsheets. Honestly, I don't know what I do that excites him so much every time I start a live video. He was literally sleeping. Hey, Hunter. Okay, anyways. So, live videos and Financial Fridays equal dogs going crazy. Hi from Montreal. Okay, so we're going to go live for maybe like 15, 20 minutes. And I just wanted to, oh, Landis is really nice. You're her friend. I hope she's very nice. She is a sweet girl. So, really, I'm just going to show you what a zero-based budget is. Hunter. Hey, Hunter, do you need to go outside in the rain? Do you go outside in the rain? Here's your baby. Kiss your baby. So, zero-based budget sounds scary because, hi, buddy, hi. No, okay, and he has to have hugs. Can you sit down? Live videos really, really excite him for some reason. Anyways, so zero-based budget is Dave Ramsey's method of budgeting, and it's very important, and it sounds scary because when you zero base a budget, it feels like you have no money, but it's extremely important to tell every single dollar that you have where to go. Wait, you bring me a sock? Can you just lay down? I don't want you to eat that. Go get your baby. So, Landis is at a sleepover tonight. She's at a friend's house. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. You can do this on paper, but we choose to do it on Google Sheets because it's accessible from anywhere, and then it's also shareable, so I can edit it on my computer, and Dustin can edit it on his computer, and it's also just like a spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet. So everything you can put in formulas, and then the formulas already calculate themselves. How do I budget as a single mother of 4 with one? This is what we have going. So basically what you want to do is, just like on a piece of paper, you want to write out the top portion being your income. So we're going to do income, and let's see, is that clear? And then you're going to do outgo. And what you want to do is you want to log all of your incomes and then all of your outgoes, and you can do them in categories. You can do them in like home, in I don't know what other, so like your fun money, your sports, different categories that you have. So I'm just going to do a very basic budget. So let's pretend like somebody gets paid $1,500, or no, we don't want to do that. We want to do the check and then $1,500. So this would be a single person's income. And then let's say they have, we're gonna do tithe, because if you are a tither, that should go first. Rent, and then cell phone. And we're gonna pretend like this is a perfect world and those are your only 3, just so I can show you exactly how you do this. So, and then we'll do total right here. And what we want to do is we want to get this number. Let's do savings, because we want to be able to put some stuff into savings, and then total. And so we're going to set this up so that this is our number, and these are going to subtract from this number. So let's say tithe is 10%, so $150. You can even set this up so that it's a formula and it's actually 10%. So if you wanted to do that, you could do equals. If this is a different number all the time, when you plug this number in, it'll tell you exactly how you have to type. So equals, and you want to do shift 8, which is the star, which equals times 0.1, which is 10%. So that will equal 10%. So if your income goes up to $2,000, your tithe goes up. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we have that formula set, and we want to do rent. Let's say rent is $500. cell phone is 100. Okay, so now let's do the total. We do equals this minus all of these cells right here. If this, obviously this is going to be a lot longer for most people. And then if you have two incomes, you just do your income, your husband's income. And then if you have two different paydays, you can do payday 1, payday 2, and then you can also make notes when they are due so that you can make sure you have enough money in your income. And I'm gonna show you or tell you something that we like to do to make sure that we don't have to worry about like if we get paid on the 1st or whatever. So I'm just gonna press enter, and this equals this minus. So sometimes, for some reason, you have to do each individual cell to get it to work correctly. I don't remember having to do that on Excel, but okay. So you'll see that we have $750 left. So we could either break that down into like fun money, whatever, but we want to get this to 0. Doesn't mean that we're going to spend all of our money. It just means we're going to tell every single dollar where to go. So what we want to do is make sure that all of the categories, and for visual purposes, I always have a gap between total and this because I want to be able to see where it separates. So let's say we want to put $750 in savings. So there's that single mom question. This, someone asked if I could do a house tour. I will when my house is clean. It's a mess right now. Okay, so that is the 0 that we're trying to get, our total. It doesn't mean that we're broke. It means that we just told every single dollar where it's going, and we have $750 in savings. Another thing I like to do is have a savings breakdown over here, so I know if I'm putting some of this in and I want to maybe save some for like Christmas or birthday parties, we have different categories for those, and then I have like a savings breakdown over here. Some people, I know Jordan Page has like a bunch of different actual accounts that she keeps all of her savings in, but we just do it in one, and then we keep track on a spreadsheet like this. So if we wanted to, that's just a basic concept of a budget. You have your income minus outgo equals 0, and that is your goal. So obviously you would put all your debts here if you had debts, everything like that, but you want to get it down to 0. So if you guys have questions, let me know. But let me turn this around for a second. Yes, Landis is in softball. So yeah, so that is basically the 0-based budget. You can do that on paper. You can do that on, okay, so then my tip for so say someone asked if you get paid like on the 1st and the 15th, what do you do like if you don't have enough money to pay all of your bills? So realistically, you should try to have an emergency fund. What's a budget? Valerie says. You silly. Say, you know what a budget is. Hunter's like cuddling now. Okay, so realistically, you want to have 3 to 6 months of your income in a savings, not your income, of your needs. So when you're saving up your emergency fund, you want to take your budget and find out all those things that do not fluctuate, like you cannot get rid of. So like hair and nails can go if you really need it to go. You add up exactly what you need to survive your 4 walls, that Dustin talked about, your shelter, your just the things that you definitely need in your life. Not cable, not just things that you can cut out. You try to save 3 to 6 months. That's your emergency fund. Now, when you have that, I recommend putting the amount that it costs to live 1 month into your checking account and keeping it in your checking account. And what that will do is give you a buffer so that when your bills get auto paid, or you just pay it with a check, or you pay it with whatever, your check is going to replenish that, but you keep it in your budget. So I'm going to show you how, if you needed to do that. So let's say these are our necessities, okay? You've got your rent, so tithes would go away if you weren't making any money, okay? For real, listen to this lady. We followed this exact budget and paid off $55,000 in 3 years. Yep, that is my cousin right there, and they are doing awesome. Okay, so if you were to like lose your job, everything, and you were to not be making any money, tithe would definitely go away. So your necessities are, if this was your actual budget, I don't know who has this budget, maybe like a 13-year-old, but this would be awesome. So rent and cell phone is all this person needs. $600 is what they need to live. So I would recommend them keeping $600 in their account. And what you would do is you would include that in your income and your outgo. So it would zero itself out, but it's actually still in your checking account. That's a little bit more advanced, and some people can just kind of, I always recommend keeping an even number, like $1,000 in your checking account. So as long as it'll cover those bills that come and go before you get paid. Like, so say your car payment is due, or car insurance or whatever, because we don't believe in car payments, is due on the 3rd. And you don't get paid till the 5th. You want to make sure you have enough in your checking account to pay that car payment. So I recommend keeping like $1,000 in the bank. So that way, when you see that your checking account has like $2,500 in it or $2,323 in it, you know that $1,223 is actually your budgeting number, and that $1,000 is really a part of your emergency fund, but it's in your checking account. So I hope that makes sense. But if it doesn't, let me know. See you later. Okay, so that's about it. I just wanted to go over that because I know I've promised you guys Financial Fridays, and we have totally slacked in them. We were actually going to do this video a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to be real. We sat down to do it, and our budget has gotten a little crazy. Dave Ramsey recommends sitting down and doing it together every single month. And the last few months, I've just kind of like ignored it, and I've trusted that Dustin was doing it, and he is, and he's doing a great job at doing it, but he does it his way. And so when I go to look at it, I wasn't ready to do this video, and we weren't ready to do this video together, and we had to kind of rework our whole budget. So maybe when we get that kind of back under control, we will do it together. But still no luck on the brown bubble mailer. No, I have not. Is it bad that I just throw the bills money in savings and transfer as needed? Yes, but no. If it's like, if there's stagnant bills, so this is kind of where my husband and I have a debate. Okay, so if there's stagnant bills and you know, okay, you've got your car insurance, which is $122, and your cell phone, which is $133, and your, I'm just throwing random numbers out, and your, all those stagnant bills. And you know that totaled, they're like $732. And you throw that all in savings and you pay that, and you have that as one payment. As long as you're paying it with cash and not a credit card, and as long as it works for you, I don't think it's a horrible thing. This is something that Dustin and I kind of go back and forth on. He likes to track every single dollar and where it goes, whereas I like to just pay the credit card one time, or the check card. You know, we use a credit card, and I will go into that eventually, but it took us a very long time to be okay using a credit card. So you know, we put everything on the credit card, but it's also in our budget before we even spend it, and then we just pay it all. But Dustin likes to pay it in these little portions and track every single dollar. It just makes him feel more secure, I guess, and then it makes him feel like nothing's getting past us and we don't see it. Whereas I'm just like, pay it all at once. Like, we have already budgeted it. We've already figured it out. We're not going over our budget. So just pay it. But if it works for you and you're not going over your budget, you're able to save, you're able to keep your livelihood, then sure, I would say just do that. But definitely if this is kind of where we go back and forth, because as a married couple, like, we both need to be a part of what happens in the finances. We have to. So finding a system that works for both of us has kind of been hard. But can we not? You were literally sleeping, so I was like, I'm gonna go live because the baby's asleep. No, he's not asleep. He wants to play. Where's your ball? Where's your ball? This is why I have an office. Go get it. So someone asked me to do a home tour, Hunter. The whole house is a mess right now because it's been raining. We've been stuck inside. I've been working from home because it's just cold and rainy and I don't want to go to the office. But we have actually been looking at houses, which is just kind of like a dream right now. We're not actually, I don't know. At first we were like, let's just kind of think, let's just dream a little bit. But we flipped this house and what was the first item in the budget? I'm sorry, I didn't get it. It was tithe, which is, it's biblical for tenth, which just means you give a 10% of your income to a good cause or your church or wherever. That's just how our family does it. Our first line item is tithe, and then my doggy's name is Hunter, and but you don't have to put that in there. That is just where we start, and most people start with like rent or their mortgage, but we start with tithe. So that was the first thing that was on our list. But so we started looking at houses because we were just kind of, we've always tried to keep our eyes open and figure out, like, we always keep our eyes on the market. And like, we bought our house and now it's like it's worth, not only did we like renovate it, but it's worth so much more because the market's gone up. But so we've actually been like really looking because it's like, it's just one of those things. Like, I have the office and I love having the office, but like, the girls were sick 2 weeks ago and then it's been raining and I work from home and I love working from home, except when I have to do live videos and my dog wants to play. But we've been looking for a house that will suit my video stuff and something, but we're just kind of dreaming and kind of talking with our friends who are realtors and mortgage lenders and stuff like that, and just kind of processing. But every time we like talk about it with someone, they're like, yeah, that makes sense, you know. Why be paying for the office when you could get a house and work from home? And that's kind of our ideal was to find a house in the beginning that I could work from, and we settled on this house just because our income at the time was something that this worked well for us. But we were in such a competitive market when we were buying that we had to literally pick which one they would approve for us. So our house, we kind of had to settle on some things. We love this house. I love this house. And if we were just living and I went to like a job somewhere, that would be great. But I have to work from home and balance that. And it just doesn't work for videos very well. It's Zoe Wright farmhouse with a huge barn. I wouldn't pay rent. It's a waste of money. Our house prices in California are going crazy again, getting so expensive. I know. So, we got approved for this house solely on, are we really gonna fight in the video? Of course we are. Get the baby. So we got approved on this house solely on Dustin's income. So now that I've had my YouTube channel for longer than 2 years, we're now able to get approved on both of ours. And we were waiting, we're like, let's wait for the market to drop. But because we flipped our house and we have so much equity in this house, even though we used a lot of love and our personal taste on a lot of things, like that's probably gonna be the hardest thing for us, is like, we put a lot of thought into every little area of the house, and we picked like our favorite colors and our favorite themes for things instead of thinking about like resale value. But luckily, I think a lot of people are into the same style. So our house price, okay, I read that. I know there's a lot of comments I need to go back up. My husband and I have super different budgeting and bill paying ideas. That's where we're stuck. We don't have a lot of credit cards, but we do have a lot of little bills. Yeah, so really coming together and just kind of like, this is honestly my opinion, not my opinion, my advice, because this is literally what happened 2 weeks ago. We were supposed to sit down and do this video. I opened up the budget to kind of like go over it or make like a mock budget that's similar to ours. And then I got frustrated because we do it completely different. And then I was like, hey, can we like figure something out where our budget actually looks like something we would both do, not something that just you would do? And then it just kind of turned into something like frustrating. And I was like, I don't want to do a live video on this right now, which is real, you know, that's real. And that's why I want to talk about it with you guys, because it's frustrating. And then when you bring two people together who numbers process so differently in everyone's heads, but it's a real subject. It really is. And and we normally do not fight about our budget. We don't. But that day, it was real, and we were like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I don't want to do a live video with you. We got to pre-record these live videos. But I love live videos, and I've been really looking forward to doing our lives as, well, or not Walt Disney Wednesdays, Financial Fridays. So I'm not going to let it defeat me, but I'm going to be real with you guys and just be like, hey, we experienced this too. And even though finances are really mine and my husband's strongest point in our marriage, we have other issues, but finances are usually never one of them. So that's why I felt super confident to start a series where I help people out in that. Of course, it's funny how, you know, the enemy wants to attack in those areas and be like, excuse me, watch this. I'm going to drive you nuts today financially about whatever. So, yeah, just being real, like, it's frustrating. I understand it. I totally get it. But like if you watched our debt story, we've been there. We want to help people get through it. So I did not want to leave you guys hanging and not do one, because I feel like if I would let it go long enough, I'd be like, they'll forget. I'll never have to do it. But I don't want that to happen. I want us to do Financial Fridays. I want it to be real. Even if it means my dog is being a pain in the butt during the video, we are going to do it. So then Disneyland happened. Yay. I know, we went, I think you're talking about our Disneyland trip. We did just get back from Disneyland. Where does Cricut supplies fall in your budget? Necessities? Okay, so if it's a budget, or if it's a business item, it falls under, personally, it would fall under my write-offs, like my business expenses. But if it's, so we also have two separate, not separate budgets, but I have my business budget, and then we have, and Dustin had his business budget when he owned his own business, but now he has a job where he gets a salary, so he doesn't do his own budget. It's probably one of the reasons why he loves doing our budget so much, is he probably misses doing his business budget, and I never even really thought about that. But like, I love that I have my business budget and I do it all alone, and then I just send that number that I have left over to our personal budget, and then we've got to get together and like figure it out. But Cricut would definitely go in your fun money or your crafting line item. Every line item you make is for something, as long as you have the money for it. And the sooner you get that 3 to 6 months emergency fund, the sooner those line items can get better and better and better. So if you follow the baby steps, you'll get to a point where those line items will be more fun rather than just bills. Because I know when you're only making exactly what your bills are, it can feel daunting. And for the mother of 4, single income, there are so many creative, free ways to have fun with kids. And honestly, kids are so much more into your time and your fun than they are tangible items. So find any free thing to do with your kids, and they will remember it and love you for it. And yeah, we deprived our children from a lot of stuff as little kids. And luckily, now that they're older and life is so much more expensive with older kids, you know, we're able to spend a little bit more on them. But when they were little, you know, Christmas looked like nothing pretty much on our end. We would just kind of like be like, happy Christmas, you know. Birthdays looked more like we're gonna go spend the day at the park. And if I have a friend who could offer, you know, something fun, like their horse that we could go take a ride on or something fun, you know, or sleepovers are pretty inexpensive. Get some pizza from the Little Caesars, you know. So tuning in from the Bahamas. Woo! I want to be in the Bahamas right now. It is literally pouring right now. It's been pouring for like 3 days. So, Jillian, yeah, I have not gotten the ears. I know we're trying to figure that out. I totally appreciate your honesty. My husband and I need to work on our communication, especially with financial issues. I feel like money is the easiest thing to get frustrated over. It is and it is not. I personally don't get frustrated over money as much as I get frustrated over other things, but I think that really is one of the top things that people do fight about in marriages. So, would you consider having a class to show those of us who would like to begin a crafting YouTube channel? I'm in Stockton, so pretty close to you. Yes, I would. And that is something, if you're in our patron group, make sure to join it, because the more people I have in our area, the sooner I'll be able to do stuff like that. And then you can also reach out to me on Facebook too. If you want to try to get together or something. I do need to utilize like the crafting room in the office and stuff like that. If I'm, you know, depending, if we find a house that has a place as the size of the office, you know, it'd be nice. But so yeah, that's it. That was the zero-based budget. It's really simple, but if we want to go into a little bit more detail or you have more questions, let me know. I have got to get going. I'm going to a late night bunko baby shower, so that's fun. Oh, can fondant be cut with the Cricut? I know you asked that a little bit earlier. I saw something about fondant. Yes, it can. I have not done it, but I know people have done it, and I know there are a lot of people who do it. So maybe look for a blogger who's done it before. If not, maybe we'll have to try it. I have never done it, and I'd be excited to, because I love fondant. I don't love making cake, but I like making fondant and playing with fondant. So frustrating. I keep getting the runaround from the post office too. Yeah, I will look into it. Freezing here in Canada. Brr. I know, I want to be in the Bahamas. Let's all go to the Bahamas and hang out with you. Okay, I know there was a couple other questions that I missed, and I want to answer them. I answered that one. Our house price in California, I talked about that one. My husband and I never super different, and talked about that one. Ties are a lovely thing to help those less fortunate. Yep. So I'm bad with paying bills. Ugh. I talked about that one. Congratulations, Alyssa. Wishing you the best on your studies. We need more great doctors. Good. Yeah. If you're going to school to be a doctor. Okay, fondant question answered. How do you do a budget when you don't know how much you are going to bring? How do to your check amount varies? Okay, so Dustin kind of wanted to cover that one, a fluctuating budget. So I think we will do, because I did want to just touch on the zero-based budget for the people who do know what they're coming. I'll give you a really quick rundown of that, but I'll let Dustin do a video on that, a fluctuating income. So basically what you do is you budget, you do the zero-based budget, and you start with the minimum that you would bring in, and you put that as your income, and then you do the second section, which is your outgo. And then you have a third section, which is if I make this much, this is where it's going. So you put in more line items and or the same line items but up them. And so you kind of go, so say your minimum is $1,500. You know that you always bring in $1,500, but some months you bring in $2,000. You would do your outgo at $1,500, and then you would have a budget thing like, okay, if I make $100 more, it's going to savings, or it's going to birthday parties, or it's going to Christmas. If I make $200 more, that's going to Christmas and birthday parties. If I make $300 more, it's going to Christmas, birthday parties, and something else. So you have almost 3 sections for that. But I'm going to let Dustin do that, a really in-depth one on that, because he was like, I want to do the one on the budget, the fluctuating income budget. So, which is kind of, we have that too. I get, it is fluctuating, but I get notified how much, and then I get paid the next month. So if you know, and that is another way you can do it too, is you can save up money from a good chunk of money, and then you budget off of the money you have in like a checking account, and then you replenish this month, and then the next month you use that money to budget with. Just a simple income and outgo. So I hope that makes sense, but I don't know. So are you paying down the highest debt first? No, if you're talking about the debt snowball, we talked about it in the first video that we did. You want to start with your smallest debt. You line up all of your debts, smallest to biggest, and it's called the snowball because you are taking everything you can to pay off the, hold on. Move. I can't remember how to block. Okay, so you pay off that small debt, and then you throw everything you can at the next one and the next one, and then every time you free up an entire credit card or a line of credit, you get all that, you don't get a ton of money because, you know, your minimum payment was tied up. You take that minimum payment and you put it towards the next card plus everything you throw at. Then when you pay 2 off, you have 2 minimum payments, and you take those and you throw them at the next one and you throw everything you can at it until you're eventually paying a ton of money on one credit card on your biggest ones. And that's how the debt snowball works. And it's worked for tons of people. So I hope that that helps. But that video that my husband and I did, it's Dave Ramsey's idea, but we talked about that. Thank you for talking in totals that are for the average Joe. If it is defeating when others discuss budgets with 6-figure numbers, many of us are not there. Yeah, guys, you guys can do it. Just to let you in on how real our budget is, we got out of debt, and we were making a very good amount of money when we started getting out of debt for our age, for sure. Dustin was 21 with a business bringing in over 6 figures in a year. And then when his budget got hit, or when his, you know, when the market crashed and all that, we were not bringing in that much money. And so we really had to reevaluate, and that's when we started doing it. But when we got done paying off debt, we, Dustin wanted to go to seminary, or he got called to go to seminary, and we sold this business, and we were able to live off of $3,000 a month. A family of 4 on $3,000 a month in California is very, very conservative. We lived off that for 3 years, and then the 4th year, we had to hope that he got a job by then that paid him the same amount. So he did, and but he was able to go to school without debt because he was able to get scholarships, and he got a job that paid for his schooling. But that meant we had to live another 4 years very, very, very conservatively. So literally bare bones. I don't say bare bones minimum anymore after being to Africa, but we were living at California bare bones minimum. No cable. Our cell phones were like the minimum cell phone you could have. Just, you know, it was bare. It was bare. So we did it on very, very comfortable, or not very comfortable numbers, very tight numbers, realistic numbers. But like I said, because we were like that and we were debt-free, I was able to start my business debt-free. I was able to nurture it and stay home and work on my business because we were living very, very conservatively. We were living within our means, and I did not go out and spend money on clothes. I did not go out and spend money on even my nails. I stopped getting my nails done. I stopped getting my hair done. I stopped doing a lot of things that I had once did, so that now my budget doesn't look like that anymore. My budget looks a lot better than that now because I said no to myself for this amount of time. You say no to yourself for this amount of time so that you can say yes to yourself for the rest of your life. And then you also teach yourself so much in this time frame that by the time you get here, you don't even want to say yes to a lot of things. You're like, I don't even care about that anymore because it's really not worth my hard-earned money. So that's me. I'm broke. So just know that when you really start I saw something on Facebook yesterday and it was perfect. It said a dream written down is a goal. A goal broken down into steps is a plan. A plan backed by action works, or something like that. So dream it. So once you've dreamed it, write it down. Once it's on a goal, write out a plan. Once you have a plan, do it. Back it up. And once you do that, you're going to experience success. That's just how life works. It really is how life works. And the people that I've seen in this lifetime do that actually get somewhere. Even if they don't get as far as they wanted to, they get somewhere. And it's better than not doing any of that. So let's talk about that in the next video. We'll talk about dreaming, because I do want to talk about dreaming. We'll talk about dreaming, making goals, making steps for your dream, and then turning it into a plan of action and getting it done. And I'm going to focus on fitness because that's where my life needs to really step up its game. But that's what next Financial Friday will be. Hopefully it's actually next Friday and not 3 Fridays from now. But we're going to talk about dreaming and coming up with your goal and your 10 and figuring out how to use that. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.